Hey, you guys want to see my video?
Let's go find some gold. Hi, today we're finding gold in Grand Junction. We are here at the Grand Junction Wildlife Area, and we're here for a few different reasons. The first being that you couldn't think of a better location in Grand Junction to find gold. This is the junction you can see behind me between what was once the Grand and the Gunnison River here. That's now the Colorado, and you know that we're not the first to pan here, and it's kind of cool thinking about all those that have been here before us. Panned the same location and found some of the same gold we're finding today. What was it, back in the 1500s, the 1600s? Probably the first people came through here with pans. Spanish monks came up, following the Colorado River, probably panning along the river the whole way up. And of course, you get to this. Spaniards probably panned right here. Said, I found gold. Their Ute guide said, yeah, there's more up ahead, let's keep going. This has become one of my favorite locations to go to while you can. We're not even a mile away from downtown, but it's so remote, peaceful, and quiet. You're out in nature, other than the homeless camps and trains. And GJPD shooting. It's just so hard when you're here doing this to not be present in the moment. It's so relaxing. Nature therapy at its best. And it's addicting too. It's the sounds of the river, the wildlife you'll see. There have been nearly 200 different species of birds that have been identified. There's deer, and otters. And so far, a pretty good place to find gold. It's taken me quite a while to bring this video to you, and for that reason I apologize. I meant to get this to you sooner because this location is closed March 15th to July 31st. And then when it reopens in August and September, the water's probably right around here, but level drops again for October, November, December. So we're closing in towards the end of the season when you can come here. However, that's okay because you can come in October or next year, but plan to come next year. And I hope to see some of you guys out here next time. The second reason that we're here is because this location is not listed in these books. There's not much I can tell you that isn't already listed in these books, except this isn't listed in these books. So here's my contribution to where you can go gold panning around in Grand Junction besides all the 20 locations. Kevin gives you in the Q chapters. And if you too would like to find gold in Colorado, the first step I'd recommend highly would be to get these books. Finding Gold in Colorado. Worth every penny. Link is in the description. It's taken a lot of effort to find any location not listed in these books. These books are pretty comprehensive, but it does mention Q19 right behind me, as you can see. And Q7 is just not even a mile upriver from here. Asked Kevin why he didn't include it in his book, and he couldn't tell me. But he said it looked like a good place to prospect, and he'd keep this a secret location for as long as I wanted to, but secret's a little bit out of the bag now. And if you're on Facebook, you should like ColoRockCo, but then you should also join the Finding Gold in Colorado Facebook group. It's pretty awesome, and you'll get quite a few tips and tricks and hints from all those in the great community, and occasionally some great deals on equipment. And if you are in Grand Junction, I definitely recommend getting on Facebook, and you can find invitations there from Wes when he goes up to his mine. He owns the Ruthless mine just past Gateway, and he seems to pull in some of the best gold around. He's an awesome guy. Hopefully we'll be bringing you a video with him soon. Been meaning to get with him for far too long. Every year they have a pig and dig. Maybe we should try to go to that, but hopefully see some of you out there as well. But if you can't make it out, another reason we're here right now is to show you the kind of gold that you can get if you'd like to bring home some of your own Colorado River Gold Paydirt from ColoRockCo. You can get it at ColoRockCo.com/paydirt, but it comes from just downriver a little ways, so it's the same kind of dirt that we're digging in now, and you'll get to see exactly what that looks like from where we are, from where this comes. You'll get to see the exact kind of gold that you'll be able to find besides the gold added in. The gold added in comes from Fairplay, so it's all Colorado, and is a little bit bigger. Still not quite Pickers probably, unless you get a bonus bag, then you might get more gold or bigger gold, but you'll be getting some of the same pay dirt and some of the same gold that we'll see in this video. You could bring home some Colorado for yourself, but we got a nice little cobble bar, and I'm sure there's bound to be some gold dropping out, and we're gonna find it. Appreciate all of you for watching, all of you for subscribing. So we're gonna find some gold, get after it. Try to find a little gold and have a little fun. So here's where we're digging. And you can't tell it all because you should always leave it as you find it. Fill in your holes and make it look as though you've never been here. Not only because we're at the Grand Junction Wildlife Area, which is owned by the Bureau of Reclamation, and it's nice of them to allow the public to access it and use it for this purpose, and don't want them to change their minds. But more importantly, just because it's respectful and polite to the next person, you don't want them breaking their foot stepping into a hole. It's taken a few days to bring you this video to get everything I wanted to include into it, and over that time we've dug all over in here. And tested around, and what we're trying to find today is the gold being deposited while the water level's up high. And while the water level's up high, there's this channel that's filled and the two come back together, and during high water, any gold that's hugging the inside is probably dropping out through this channel, but there's gold that'd be hugging the inside bend of this and probably falling out through here too. And I'm thinking there's probably got to be a low pressure zone right in through here. There's a pay streak right in there somewhere, but right here where all these big sticks and big cobbles are falling out. And this has been some of the most productive for us so far. Some of the best gold we've found so far seems to be from right in here, as well as just this edge of the bench right here that we're standing on. A little bit of gold right in here, a little bit of gold right in here, and then right back there, where you can see that the water's slowed down, come to a stop almost, circulating backwards. Which makes sense because you would think that even just looking at the flow of the water as it is currently, right in here, and then right here, it slows down. And you could tell that the gold's probably falling out right in here, and then right over here. You can see all these waves are pushing this water towards us. It's turbulent flow out there, and any gold that would be traveling down the river on the outside bend would be getting tossed up and would either be deposited over along Q19, or it's going to be pushed back and it's going to just fall out right in through here. But you want to think about when you're digging here now today, where the gold would be falling out while the water is up high. And right in through here, there's got to be a pay streak. We'll do some samples and try to get on the pay dirt, the rich pay dirt. But you can find gold in almost every bucket, it seems like. Just the tiniest speck in random buckets. But if you read the area and find where it's concentrated, it'll be more worth your time, more rewarding. It's more gratifying for sure. First thing we'll do is set up the sluice. And I figured a good spot to check be right about here where all these bigger rocks are falling out. Let's go right here. And please correct me if you know any better, or if you think I'm wrong. But I believe I recall having read that you can find gold just about everywhere in Colorado. I've read that you can find an average of a gram of gold in every 3 cubic yards of dirt. And that sounds believable. Last year when I was trying to make these videos, I found a gram in about a month of trying. And I may have gone through about 3 cubic yards of soil, of sand, of pay dirt. However, I'll also add in that my experiences are my experiences and yours will vary. But when I first started, when I was beginning, I couldn't find hardly any gold. I might have found 5 cents in the first couple of years. I was going to the places that I had read and seen that you can find gold, panning all over, but yet I wasn't finding gold. And I was getting really frustrated with myself. But you gotta remember, you gotta bear in mind, especially when you're new to this hobby, that it takes a little while to pick up. It takes a little while to learn everything. And you shouldn't be hard on yourself. It's just like any other activity. It takes practice in order to master. You could watch every YouTube video there is on finding gold, and you can learn and read all you want to, but until you put into practice everything you've learned or think you know, until you test your own theories, put your time and sweat into it, you might not find any gold at first. That's pretty much one of the only ways to figure out what you're doing wrong and do better and succeed well at it. And that's one of the biggest reasons I highly recommend for new beginners to this hobby that they buy some pay dirt and they practice panning with dirt they know contains gold. If you buy from Klesh or from ColoRockCo or from another dealer that sells guaranteed minimums in their pay dirt, buy something that you'd like, bring it home, go through it, and just practice panning when you know you have gold in your pan, because you could try looking for gold, digging so many test holes and test pan so much of this area. And if you're not already experienced panning, you may just be pushing that gold right out of your pan. For instance, the very first time I tried to pan on video to show you what kind of gold is in each bag, I had a half gram bag and pulled out 0.45 grams. I rewatched the 30-minute long video and noticed there were 2 actions that I made where I pushed some gold out of my pan, you could tell. So in a 30-minute video, I made 2 mistakes and lost 10%, but when I lost the gold added in, it's almost a guarantee to have lost the gold that you'd find naturally. So that's one of the first steps I highly recommend, is just practice panning. Get some pay dirt and pan at home. It takes a little bit of practice to make sure that you don't lose it and that you're able to get it. Especially this kind of pay dirt and this kind of gold being so fine. When you're out on the river, you don't have dish soap that you can use to break the surface tension of the water. If you had Jet Dry or Dawn, when you're at home, you could squirt some in a little tote, a little tub, and all your gold will stay in your pan. But out at the river, some of your gold could float, and you need to keep an eye on that when you're in that kind of a situation that could allow for that to happen. And it's just practice and expertise, and getting out and having fun more often will lead to you learning more quickly. But like I said, going through more soil going through more volume has definitely helped me to learn as well, to be able to go through more at a time and figure out where is a better place to go. However, I wouldn't rush out and just get a sluice Any sluice, you could probably find a geo sluice for pretty cheap. I believe he sells those for 80 bucks and they look pretty good. I've been thinking about getting one of those. I found this on Facebook for maybe $100 and I told my dad that I just got one. Paid $100 for it and he thought that might have been a lot of money. I told him, don't worry, I'll make the money back. I'll find the gold. It'll help me find so much more gold. He's like, oh yeah? How much gold were you able to find with it? And I told him maybe 20 cents worth. He's like, all right, you only have to go out 500 more times and you'll make your money back. You could buy a $100 bicycle, mountain bike. You're not gonna make your money back with it. And going out 500 times sounds like a fun challenge to me. Yeah, we'll get there. If you are in Colorado, join the Finding Gold in Colorado Facebook group, and quite often you'll see some posted for sale there for a really good deal, especially for those of you on the eastern side. I wouldn't personally know from experience, but it just seems to me from the photos posted that those of you on the front range are luckier and can find better gold than those of us over on the western slope. And if you're coming to Colorado and you'd like to find gold in Colorado, I really recommend reading those books cover to cover. Maybe, depending on the time of year, consider Leadville, Fairplay, perhaps Arapahoe Bar, Buena Vista, Cripple Creek, Clear Creek, especially Clear Creek, Cache Creek. Feel a little jealous of those guys. Seems as though they get so much more gold for the work. Over here, you're more than likely not going to strike it rich. You're not going to find any big record-breaking nuggets. If you try real hard, go through a bunch of buckets, you may find a picker, but it's not going to be very big. You're not going to find as much gold if you come to Grand Junction as you would if you went to Central City. But I don't know about the claims elsewhere, so definitely do your research if you're going to come and look for gold and get those books. But if you're in Grand Junction and you're looking to find gold, this is a pretty good place to come. And it's fun when you find little specks in your pan. It might not be financially lucrative or largely worthwhile, but it's fun. It's so much fun. In addition, if you come here and find some gold often enough, it might all be pretty small, but it all adds up. If you get up to 5-10 grams, I'd be happy to buy it from you. Or if you buy bags from ColoRockCo and go through the pay dirt and find all the gold, want to sell it back, be more than happy to buy it back from you. Spot price, just like Klesh. And if you haven't seen Klesh, definitely go check out his channel.
Maybe we could find some gold.
And Colorado Gold Camp and Lanky White Guy. And Ask Jeff Williams.
And yeah, gold does float.
Prospector Chris Ralph. And there's so many great creators on YouTube that'll teach you how to pan, how to set up your sluice, how to run your sluice, where to look. We're gonna keep it relevant to this location. If you want to learn more, go check those guys out. And the Glacial Gold Hunter, I love watching him. As he says, I'm not an expert, just an enthusiast. So if you know any better, please leave your opinion, expertise in a comment down below. In addition, I love how he says it's
not about how much gold you get, it's about how much fun you have getting.
And what else would you rather be doing on such a beautiful day? I couldn't imagine doing anything else. This is just so much fun. I guess that's probably a pretty fun way to spend the day too. Hello. If you're digging from a location similar to where we are now, for instance, in this dried off area, you'll want to make sure to get your bucket wet. Fill it up with water. Not only does it make it a whole lot faster to classify the sand, In addition to the water helping the sand to settle, it also helps you to clean off these big rocks and all the gold that might be stuck on all of that. For instance, that one, still covered in dirt. But that one isn't. Make sure to saturate your gold, because the gold is so fine here that it can just float away. Because if you throw dry dirt in your sluice, it'll just run right out. One of my favorite things while looking for gold is all the other rocks you'll find out here. And I want to take a minute and show you those, but I put chapters in this video, so just jump ahead to this time or skip to the next chapter if you don't want to see any of the rocks. Keep in mind that all the rocks found in every video are given away. So if you want any of the rocks shown in this video, be sure to send a message and say, I want this rock at this time in this video. Ooh. This is probably one of the coolest rocks found so far. A little bit of petrified wood. Caught in this agate. I don't know if specifically right where we are has been touched or altered by man very much, or if this is the natural junction. That's a cool rock. It's hard to show on camera, but it's quite shiny. It stuck around in the pan, kind of acted like gold. Don't know how I'd be able to keep this or tell later, but I'll try. Might just be mica too, the way it looks, but oh, there's a little bit of a shine to it. If you know any better, please leave a comment. But then we found this rock. A little bit of quartz with some breccia. And you turn it over and look. A little bug. Like a geode with some quartz crystals growing. What a cool rock. This is part of that same rock. You can see the quartz and then the breccia. A little bit of a bug. And tiny crystals growing inside. And part of that same rock. Found it all broken up. Probably a geologist who knew what they were doing and what they were wanting to look for. You could tell with this piece of it that it was quite mineralized with pockets that have weathered out. Then we had some quartzite and some mica. We have this one, which I believe came from Uncompahgre. Probably 141. There's some black agate. Well, you can see it in some videos, and we'll bring you another one coming soon, but it's like agatized cobble almost. You can see some cool grains running throughout. What a cool layer. Another cool breccia. Sandstone intruded by quartz. And then this is all one piece of another rock. With mineralized thugged quartz. Like a geode almost. Another little piece of that rock with the vugs inside. Tiny, tiny quartz crystals. And of course the Native Americans were probably here rock hunting. Some nice agates. A little bit of blue and gray in this one. Nice black one. And a white one. A nice quartz rock. Ooh, some more quartzite granite with mica in it. A little bit of feldspar and quartz. Probably from the Uncompahgre Unawheat. Some cool looking basalt, I believe. Probably from the mesa, which would more than likely mean it. Oh, it could have washed down from the Gunnison. Just as likely as the Colorado. Mesa's right in between both of them. And then just a couple more cool quartz. But you can find some of the coolest rocks out here while looking for gold. You can find rhodochrosite up in the San Juans. I wonder if you could be able to find some down here as well. Probably gonna find a whole lot more feldspar from the Uncompahgre, but from within the Uncompahgre you can also find garnets. So you can find garnets, everything that you pen out in your heavies. You can find agates, quartz, a bunch of cool rocks. Oh, that bucket is full. Oh gosh. Oh, kind of cool to think about how old this gold may be. I mean, sure, it may have come up from the earth 30 million years ago or 60 million years ago with the Rocky Mountain uplift, but eroded out, traveled down the river over the millions of years, but then it ended up here. And how long has it been right here? And how long was it waiting to be seen by somebody for the very first time? It's so cool knowing that you're the first person to see that little speck of gold. I don't see as much black sand in that one as in the first one. Now we know. It's kind of the fun of panning. You never know exactly where it'll be and where you'll find it. You won't necessarily always find it. Sometimes you'll get lucky and find a lot of it. It'll all be worth it. And it's kind of like catching fish, but you get to keep it for your lifetime. It's so strange how addictive it is. And I don't understand. If anybody does know, please leave an answer down below, but I don't understand what it is for us humans on an instinctive level that makes gold so attractive and so appealing. But it sure is pretty, sure is fun to find, even if you do only find 20 cents an hour. once you get some, once you find some, you'll want to find more. And you'll just want to find more and more and more. Not quite sure whether any gold will come to where we are from the Colorado River. Perhaps it is mixed up in this fast current and thrown over into this direction, but I'm betting that it would deposit on the inside bend over there and on this island. But both rivers will deposit very fine flour gold all the same, so it's a little difficult to distinguish between the two. But I believe most of the gold coming down from the Colorado River would be coming down from Aspen and upriver from Glenwood. I read, I think on the diggings.com, that there was a report, I think Gulch Creek, right above the high school in Colburn, of a gold rush just about 100 years ago. And I spoke with Kevin, asked him this question, but curious whether any of you know. I read on a forum that was dated 9 years ago, I believe, where somebody had said that ever since they installed the diversion dam in 1913, we won't be getting any more gold coming down from the Colorado River in Grand Junction. Kevin said that dam's been there for 100 years, and the gold has been moving downriver for tens of thousands of years. But the dam is just upstream from Q15, Plateau Creek confluence, and I'm pretty sure I found some gold there. And I'm not sure if it's from gold that's migrated a quarter mile downriver from the dam in the last 100 years. Presuming that the dam is actually blocking the gold, or if it's gold that's come down from the Plateau Creek. I'm thinking there might be some gold up on the Grand Mesa, but that's the Colorado there. But in the Gunnison, it's bringing us down gold from the San Juans and the Uncompahgre and Gunnison, obviously. And I believe there's a little bit more gold in those locations on a volume by distance basis. And in the San Juans and the Uncompahgre, the gold you can find is typically really fine to begin with. I think the richest mines up there had something like 3 ounces a ton, where the gold was just scattered throughout in the quartz, but being beaten up in the river on the way down to here, over 100 miles, it just gets smaller. You'll be finding gold glitter. However, regardless of whether or not that's true about the diversion dam, I've heard and read from multiple sources that the gold in and around Grand Junction is mostly coming down from the Gunnison River. And whether or not that's the case, we're on the inside bend of the Gunnison, and we're probably going to be getting more gold at the moment from the Gunnison. Who knows, maybe we are getting Colorado River gold where we are. But I think if you were going to sample the Colorado River, you'd want to go to Q19. And it doesn't seem as though we've had as much gold at Q19 as we have here. Not sure whether we found more gold here than we have at Q7. It seems to be about the same. And I've been out to Q9 once. I didn't have the best luck personally, but I've heard that Fruta, the Q9 location, is one of the best locations to go to nearby to Grand Junction. But Kevin says in his book that he didn't include a rating because people can have different experiences, and sometimes you can get lucky and sometimes you won't. Sometimes you'll have a good day and sometimes you'll have a bad day. Just because I didn't necessarily find any gold when I went out to Q9, as much gold as here anyway, doesn't mean that's not the case. And in addition to the gold that came from the San Juans, if you check on Mindat and read about the Marion prospect that I believe is in the Poughkeepsie Gulch area, you can confuse yourself to some extent, because apparently there is a discovery made there of rhenium, and rhenium wasn't known about until the 1940s. So all the gold miners may not have known they were going for rhenium. And who's to say there isn't a whole lot more? And who's to say there isn't rhenium that's made its way downstream as well that we'll be able to find here? Pretty sure we're downriver from the Poughkeepsie Gulch here. So if what I had read is accurate and true, does anybody know whether you could find rhenium as though you could with gold? Like, would it be in your pan at the same time? That'd be kind of cool to be able to find rhenium out here, even if it is just a grain, just the tiniest little speck. And if anybody knows, please leave a comment, but I'm kind of curious whether you can find any other elements out here besides just gold. If you check Mindad, it shows that within Colorado, if you can find almost every element with the exception of maybe a dozen, like erbium, indium, gallium, thallium. However, you could find tungsten up in the San Juans, and I imagine you should be able to find tungsten here too. It'd just be like a black sand almost. And tellurium, and a bunch of different metals. Name one is probably up there. There was coal right there. There's uranium up there. Lead, molybdenum, zinc, a lot of zinc, and silver, of course. But I don't know if you could pan for silver either. Please leave a comment if you know. But I'd imagine you should be able to find some silver here if you could. So many more elements were exploited from the San Juans that could travel downstream to here. So, wonder if we'll ever be able to find a previously unknown element to Mesa County, perhaps. There might be more elements here than everyone previously has known about. But hopefully, this video is just the first video in a series of videos where we'll be finding gold around in Colorado. Additionally, it's the first series of a series of series where we'll find other elements around in Colorado as well. Not just gold, but besides something like silicon, found silicon, and maybe a dozen other elements or so. It's not necessarily the easiest in the world to find every other element, but thanks to finding gold in Colorado, Kevin's made it easy to find gold in Colorado. So we'll start there. That's a good starting point. And we'll hopefully be able to find and collect more elements than just gold. So future videos will also be rock counting and various element collecting, as well as going to Yerevan to look for radioactive uranium and vanadium. In addition, hopefully someday check out the Brown Derby mine near Gunnison for scandium, rubidium, perhaps even go to Breckenridge and look for platinum and palladium. We'll go out hopefully and find some molybdenite soon, some beryllium and some beryl if we can get really lucky. Possibly some lode gold in the future. A lot coming soon. We're just about finished with these buckets and we'll clean out the sluice, pan it down and see what's in the snuffer bottle from the few days that we've spent here. Show you all the gold that you can get. Ooh, nice little piece. We have some gold on our indicator mat. Forgot about one last hole to fill in and make it look as though we were never here. And then while we wait for it to finish going through the sluice, we could test our tailings. This place right here netted us the most black sand. And then right in here, and then right there, and then right there, which kind of makes sense. It settles out in higher concentrations where there's less turbulence. We're almost getting through this bucket, almost finished, but it's nice to see that that gold is still sticking to the same place on the indicator mat here. And you should always take your concentrates home and pan them there, because the gold out here is so fine that without dish soap or another surfactant, it's liable to just float away, float right out of your pan. But we'll pan it out real fast and see what we can get. Dang, no pickers, no nuggets. Woo, looking good. Just from today, we've got a lot. We'll take home our concentrates and go through those with dish soap just to make sure we didn't miss anything. But otherwise, let's see what we got in the snuffer bottle. Whew, not bad. Ooh, that's one nice piece. It looks so big, plentiful when you zoom in. That is really not too bad at all. We may have found 50 cents if we're lucky.
You know what the truth of it is? I never really cared about money. I cared about gold.
Yeah, we might have found maybe a 1/10 of a gram if we're lucky. But overall, that's pretty nice. Quite a bit of color. Pretty awesome. video's taken quite a bit of work, so I appreciate those of you for watching it and making it worthwhile. Appreciate those of you who have subscribed for doing so. Appreciate those of you who like the video. And most importantly, I appreciate those of you who support ColoRockCo and help to fund videos like this. You guys are awesome. Without you, none of this would be possible. Thank you all for buying rocks. Free rocks with every purchase, so if you want something we collected today, leave a message. Or you might get some barite from out there, baculites from the Book Cliffs, but hopefully more will be coming soon. Undoubtedly more will be coming soon. So stay tuned, and until next time, have a great rest of your day.
So what do you think?
It's pretty cool, I guess.
This is pretty much the worst video ever made.
You know what, Napoleon? You can lead. Hey, check that out.
All right. I don't know how much talking I'll do to myself, especially if somebody walks by. Oop. Glad I saw that. There's the cap to the snuffer. Look at all the gold trapped in the snuffer straw. That's interesting. We are here for a multitude of various reasons. One being that I couldn't think of a more appropriate place to find gold in Grand Junction than at the Grand Junction Wilderness Area. A mile away from Grand Junction, downtown Grand Junction. Oh, whoops. Definitely didn't mean to step on my snuffer bottle. Hope I didn't just shoot all the gold out. In addition, the Colorado River Gold Paydirt that you can now get from ColoRockCo. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for your time. Hope to see some of you out here next time, or hope to send some of you some dirt if you can't make it out. But till next time, click on this video up here if you'd like to watch a video about finding crystals out in the Book Cliffs, or click here if you want to watch a video over there finding shark teeth, or click here to subscribe if you're cool. But thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day.